Booyah.
Booyah. What's up, Holmes?
Nothing much. What's happening with
Boosting
you?
bullshit. Boosting bullshit
I know.
on an
My,
off week.
I know. My screen's all different now. I don't like this. Something's changed.
Uh-oh. What did you do?
I don't know. I hit a button or something.
Uh-oh. Nah,
I got
I
this.
try not to touch nothing, dude.
I got this
Nothing.
new mic stand, and it's like whoa, 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 whoa. It's not working. So,
You look professional.
yeah, exactly. I got my lighted sign in the back.
I see that.
Yeah, and then
Number one.
What does that say? Oh, is it backwards? I need to switch that. Hold on.
You are
There we go.
You're way more computer literate than I am.
Yeah. So what's going on with you? It's hot.
Dude, we're hot, working, no racing right now. Everyone's kind of laying low.
Super hot. God, it's been just killer, man. I just got back on a little vacation, a little weekend vacation with the family. Went down and spent some time with some friends.
What's all the guys do from PDRA when we ain't racing?
That's what I want to know. I what do we do? We put up a little comment section. If you don't have a race car, you must have a boat. So I had some friends that had some boats on there. I guess boats and race cars kind of go together.
They do. If you got a race car, you gotta have a boat.
I know. What do you have? Like a fountain or a cigarette or something?
No, hell no. I got a tri-tune, man. We don't
got
go
an old man boat.
I got an old man boat. It does have a 200 on the back. I can go 38 mile an hour with 12 people, man.
That's good. That's good.
It's good enough. Man, I had one. That thing was a slug. That thing had about 100 on it. It said burn. I had a lot of fat people on that boat, and we didn't go real fast.
You had a floating cooler. That's what you had. It's not connected to your laptop mic. Well, let's see. You got. It sounds good to me.
What did I do, Jess? We was on for 15 minutes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Anyway. So I used to have a skiff, little fishing boat. Well, not it was like a 19-footer, but now I got just a little 18-foot aluminum boat, something I can fish, duck hunt, bow fish, whatever I need to do out of it. It's not a family boat.
You're outdoorsman, man. You're doing it all. I got a sub out man to go fishing with because I ain't got my boat. We don't want to get that thing dirty. We just ride. We polish the pontoons and ride and eat and drink.
Well, yeah, I know the feeling. We got the family boat to begin with, and then it kind of things changed, and the kids got older and they didn't really want to go out as much, and they want to go do other things like fish and hunt and things like that. So I got something that's a little more versatile.
That ain't nothing wrong with that. We do a little fishing on there. We got another boat for that aspect of things.
Yeah,
we got a ray at the lake. So you're due to come up. You're due to go on the pontoon and make a little trip around Lake Anna for a little bit.
Yeah, that'd be nice. I get a little seasick, so as long as I'm on a lake, I'm good.
Oh, we go to the lake. We could go to Jeff's place. He's on the Potomac. You can see land there at his place too.
Yeah,
we do a little boating down his place too. So
if you're not going to have a boat, you got to have a friend with a boat. And my best friend's got a huge boat, and I can go do whatever I want to do with it. And he paid a lot of money for it, and I get to tear it up. So
we see you ride on. Y'all probably got the big ass cabin cruiser.
No, he's got a 28 or 30-foot sea hunt and fishing boat, which I can't. He loves to fish. I don't get to do it as much. Like I say, I get sick. I tried yesterday, and we went about a mile out, and I took medicine and everything, and it just wasn't happening. I don't know. You would think that I could get over it. I've tried the things on your wrist, the things behind your ears, Dramamine. I've tried it all. Doesn't work.
Seasick is not the place to be when you're on a boat. I can tell you that right now. That is not good.
Nope, you're right. So
that's absolutely terrible. But
so I've been working in the shop. I've been working in the shop, and you've been working on the dirt.
Yep.
It's been hot. You've been burning up.
Burning up, dude. I've been decking trailers. I drilled like 300 holes in the damn Landau trailer in the last week or so. And I done burn up bits. I'm telling you, my back. I'm old. I see why I'm getting late on the reaction time. I'm old. But yeah, that's part of it. When we ain't racing, we got to work.
That's right. That's right. I think we look at a lot of guys in the PDRA. There's a lot of big companies. P2 is a big contracting company, like we talked about. We talked to Kurt. Ty and Todd. They build motors and transmissions and go testing. They're at the racetrack. They're NHRA. They're over here. John Camp's got a big concrete company. supply concrete trucks and things like that. Rudolph and them, they got big construction company. There's a lot of guys out there. I think Melanie's the only one I think that doesn't have a job.
She's the manager. She does the G4 stuff. I can tell you when I need something, it gets there. I give her that. She's in the office. I got to give it to her.
All right, well, good. I was afraid that she made John do all the work.
Well, John's running all over the country. You know, he's out in the Midwest. He's there. He's over here. He's on the dyno. Man, that dude, all those guys, Totoro's, all them guys, man, they're on the road all the time. It's really unbelievable what they do.
I don't see how they do it. I mean, really, at some point in time, I think you're just like me, and life gets in the way of racing. Racing gets in the way of work. I mean, it's just there's a fine line we got to try to separate there.
Well, that's the biggest thing I see what's going on in racing right now, as far as I'm concerned. Work gets in the way of racing.
Yep.
And there is a fine line. What do we do there? Where does you get enough sponsorship money that you can say, okay, I'm done with that? Like yourself, who works on race cars and stuff. I know you got two sides of that story.
Yeah.
Whether you can stop your regular shop and just say, I'm just going to do racing stuff. I can't do that. I'm too dumb.
No, and I'm not, I'm just not at that point yet where I feel like that it can continue on and elevate my financial ability to be able to work on race cars all the time. I think people like Ricky Smith and Todd and Justin Elks and these guys have taken something that we love and they've learned how to make a living out of it. Now, does that take a little level of where you don't love it quite as much because it is work? Because I know me and you both don't like work. So does that take that drag racing where you liked it and put it into the level of work? Or does it take it where, you give a man a job he loves and he'll never work a day in his life, that kind of thing?
Right. Well, I talked to John about that because those guys are on the road constantly. Him and Evan are on the road all the time. And if they're not there, they're in the dyno. They're not in the dyno. They're whatever on a converter. They're constantly, their minds are constantly going. And he's told me his life is a lot of chaos going on, but I don't think he'd have it any other way.
Yeah. So. I mean, and I've had conversations with Todd about it. How Todd took, because Todd was a weekend warrior. He raced Thursday night. I mean, he loved it. Don't get me wrong. Todd run Big Dog. He run Quick 8 Association. He drove for a lot of people, and he took it to that next level. I've had many conversations with him about, at what point in time in your life did you say, okay, I want to stop moving dirt and start, being I know my dad. At least I got one big fan.
He's your number one man.
Yep. So, I've had that conversation with him, and his was kind of like and I might speak out of turn here, just kind of, but he told me that 06, 07, 08, when all the crash happened, that their work slowed down, so he kind of had to figure out another way to make a living, and he was already kind of doing the tuning and building motors and fixing cars for people, and I think he kind of turned it into a business and a very successful business. I don't think a lot of people can look back and look at the success that him and Ty and Brad and those guys have had with a company that they started just from a hobby and a passion of love. I mean, it says a lot about those guys. And I think the same thing for John. I know John and Melanie run Alcohol Funny Car, and it kind of brought it over, and they took something that they love. They got G-Force race cars. They got Resolute. They're building motors. They're doing this. They're doing that. They're Evans wiring now, which is good to see a young kid, because you don't see a lot of young kids his age with that ability or that drive to do that.
Mm-hmm. I agree. And they've taken it to a level too. It's a business. That's what they do to make a living, but it's also 24/7.
Yeah.
So compared to like us, we hate our job, or I don't know. If
I don't hate it, but yeah,
I don't want to go there, but I got to do it because I got to pay the bills. So that's where they're at. But they're doing what they love, and it does take a lot. If you're going to stay on top in this game, you got to do that. I think as far as what they're doing from the R&D side of things and the maintenance.
Yeah, and you have companies like Kinetic Shocks, Chris Bell. I mean, I think he took a passion of doing shocks and doing I don't know how much racing Chris ever did, but that kind of leads over into a business. Let's see, there's a lot of people in the business that that have taken the passion for drag racing and turned it into a business where they made money on drag racing. Justin Elks works for Race Pack, and then he turned into Modern, and then you've got a lot of these companies that stand behind me and you, and we race every day. We don't really think about what it takes for them.
Yes.
I mean, they're trying to earn a living and enjoy the sport. So that's a big I don't know what I'm trying to say here, but that's a big commitment for them.
Yes, you got to pay your way. I mean, at the end of the story, they got guys, and we all say, oh man. I mean, I hear it all the time. Like, man, these tuners charge a lot of money, but I mean, when they're 24/7, somebody's got to pay for that R&D and all the stuff behind the scenes to make the car fast.
I know. I mean, you look at guys like Brandon Stroud, you look at John Salemi, you look at Pierce. These guys, Jamie Miller, they eat and sleep it. If they're not tuning a race car, they're not making money. So it's the same aspect as us. Like it'd be the same thing if you didn't have any lots to clear or you didn't have any, things to do. They do it 24/7, and they got to do it on the weekend because that's when we do it, right? So it changes life. As somebody who came from a racetrack industry, my dad ran the racetrack, and I ran it with him for a long time. It changes the way you look at it. I mean, it's a, sure, you get December, January off, which we don't get that off anymore because of the winter series as far as other things. But I used to, in the racetrack industry, I used to get the whole month of December and January off. And, sure, but I also had to work Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, get back on Monday, clean up, get ready. By the time you get ready for one, you're ready for the other one. So, I mean, there's a lot to it.
Yep. Did that take a toll? I'm just asking, did that take a toll upon you when you guys ran the racetrack and you was working and I mean,
well, we were IHRA racing at the time. So we were only quick rod, top dragster, top sportsman. Yes and no. I think I learned a new level of love for the sport at that point in time because I could see both sides of it. So when I went to a racetrack, I appreciated the effort and the skill that these people put in, not just the bitching. And I have to catch myself a lot of times too, griping and complaining about things that happen at the racetrack because I know what it's like to be on the other side. Just like some situation we ran into in Maryland where they were short-staffed parking and it took so long. Well, Maryland is a very hard racetrack to park at. It's very small. We have big rigs now. You got 300 people coming in at one time. There could have been some changes to be made, but at the same time, I think they do the best they can with what they can. And it's as part of racers, we need to remember that. And I think me and my dad both. But on the other side of it, we also see how the things they neglect, things that they could do that they forget about. So it's just like if anybody comes in and runs your business, they're going to say, hey, you need to do this, you need to do that. And sure, there could be better. But same thing with mine. So I try to remember that.
For sure. But everybody can look in from the outside and look at things and say, hey, you need to do this, this, and this. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I find myself bitching sometimes at the racetrack, man, the track could be better. The parking sucks, blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, them guys are not doing it intentionally. They're trying to make.
No, they're trying to do a good job.
Yeah. They're trying to give us the best product. And we got to understand that. And, whether it's PDRA or NHRA, whoever the hell it is, those guys are out there. They're not trying to give us a slippery racetrack for just to go down through there. So, what else we got? Who all raced this weekend? I mean, PDRA's been off for a few weeks. We still got a couple more weeks to go. So
it kind of feels like COVID to me, man. We just haven't been doing anything. I just, normally we've got Big Dog happening around here. We've got some kind of rocking can. We've got this. We've got that. We just haven't had anything, man. It's been kind of weird. It's been a really weird year. I mean,
right.
We had 5 weeks off. Now we got like 5 more, and we got 3 weeks left.
And as hot as it's been, it ain't. I don't know if it's been all bad. It's been 100.
No.
I don't like racing in 100. I used to not sweat, but I'm fat now, dude. I start sweating when it's 100 degrees out.
Midwest was at the SmackDown, which is the big race that we had last year, right? That was the big, but it was later in the year, and that me and you went to. So they did $20,000 a win, wrapped up the Midwest Pro Mod Series with it, with their rules and everything. I think there was about 24 cars.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yep. There was some interesting stuff that happened. I mean, you had. I didn't really see anybody other than Rudolph that I see on a regular basis. I
I
don't
pay
know.
attention to what Jeff Pierce does out there because he runs a lot. So
Yeah.
where they run at. So in those conditions where they ran 66 to 69 in those style of conditions.
Yep. And then there was Robin Roberts went out there and just stunned the world with a 63 in the worst conditions we've seen in a long time. I don't know how I feel about it. Me and my dad kind of been back and forth about it. He kind of feels like it's a legit deal. There was the numbers add up if you do it, but it's just hard. I think either somebody threw something and it stuck, and maybe just got a little bit lucky at it, or maybe we had something a little wacky happen because it just seemed like to me it was 30. I actually looked. It was 3,300 DA, 108 correction. Humidity factor was up. It was 90 something degrees. Worst conditions we've seen, and he runs a PB, personal best.
Yep.
Kaylee Mills does the same thing right in front of him, but you have this weird mile an hour, 216. Right?
Very impressive if it was true.
Right. So he goes 930, 246, and goes 63, which is 117.5 back half, which is screw blower back half. So
I think it's more turbo, but I mean, it was very fast early and back. I'm not very familiar with that combo he's running. So when I look at the numbers, I don't know what the hell it was very fast early and it was very fast late for those conditions. It was very, if it was legit, that was a badass run.
Absolutely. And I'm trying to, I'm trying not to downgrade what the guys did because I realize there's a lot of people who work really hard. He's a nice guy. He's a good racer. They come from so I'm not trying to beat down what they did or negate what they did. I'm just looking at the facts, and there was a lot of talk about it. My dad went back and looked at a lot of runs because he has nothing to do. So and he looked at a lot of the runs, and he said, hey, it's a legit run if you look at these other runs. But I'm just like, Pops, man, I mean, just something. I just know what my Pro Charger back halves when I run in the 50s, and if I go 117.5, then I'm going to go low 50s.
The stat guy said he went 216, which is for a centrifugal is probably, I mean, I don't know.
It's impossible. The front end, we know how those new Camaro front ends hit the beams. I mean, turbo, yes, I'll eat that crow all day, but I just don't see a centrifugal doing it at that weight.
Right.
He had a Harks Charger on there, which is a new combination, and the fastest they had been with it prior to that in competition was a 69, and that was at World Series. So you go, I mean, but then the DA gets better. The night falls, but there's a lot of factors that we wasn't there. Did the track get a little worse? Did this? Right. Did that happen? It just seemed like it was just a weird coincidence. Like, I mean, I was listening to it when it happened. I just was like, what the heck? That's got to be wrong. But he was 002 on the tree. He goes 930s, 246, and he goes out the door 63 at 216. Now, the 216 didn't rattle me because I knew sometimes those new Camaros, and you'll see it at Virginia and a few other places once in a while, those new body style Camaros will pop up a crazy mile an hour. And we've seen Scott Lang do it. I've seen Travis do it. I've seen Randy Weatherford do it. They'll pop up a crazy.
Yeah. I've seen it at Virginia in the right lane a few times.
Yeah. I hope for their fact that it did happen that way. They can say that, hey man, I'm beating my chest. I'm the baddest guys around. He never really got close to that again. And I would think as the race went on and the track got cooler and the track got better, I would have thought they would have got back closer. Because if I can hit a 63 in that kind of weather, you should be able to leave it alone, come right back up there when the DA drops 1,000 or whatever you got to do and pick up 1 to 2 numbers. And it just didn't happen.
Yep, I agree. Yeah. I mean, the conditions out there were not very favorable.
No. And I don't race on that side of the country. Maybe I'm totally wrong. Maybe it just doesn't affect. Maybe the air is a whole lot drier out there and it just doesn't affect it. Maybe they burnt that sumbitch to the ground and we just didn't see it. So there's a lot of factors. I mean, there was 4 cars left at the end. It was Roberts, Sean in the turbo car, right?
Yep, Robert Davis in the G-Force car.
And Ron Minks, right?
And the Jeff Pierce tune deal.
So they couldn't get it finished again. They had some oil downs, some things happened. And when I say again, they didn't finish it last year when we were there, but Mother Nature played a big factor in that. It wasn't anything they did, but they had some. I think they had a lot of oil downs and different things that happened. That
I don't think they start eliminations till like 6:00 their time.
Yeah, so maybe they should try to move that up.
Move that up just a little bit, maybe. Of course, you don't expect to have oil downs, but we know in these cars, you don't never know what's going to happen.
No, yeah. And then when you run other classes, you're going to run into stuff too. So, I mean, it was a good show, and I felt like Midwest did a great job as far as the live feed. They kept it going. Ellen did a good job of keeping everybody informed.
Yeah.
It was kind of interesting because we're not racing right now, so they had about the only show in town.
Everybody was watching. There was another race up in Canada, but I think everyone's watching the Midwest for the most part. And
Yep.
They had some bad guys out there ripping off some big numbers who I'm sure we'll see sooner or later.
Yep, absolutely. I mean, and it's changed the game having two organizations like that. I mean, they quit coming out here, we quit going out there. And feeding these trucks is the hard part about our game. Diesel and going that far, wear and tear. You get out in Missouri, you blow a tire. Next thing you know, you got a couple $1,000s in roadside repairs, and nobody likes that. But
it's a long way out there for us. I don't know what you thought, but I think it's the same amount of hours to Florida. But when I'm going to Florida, it seems way better. I'm going
well,
south.
We're going downhill. That's what
right. Yeah. That was our thing, right? I just going out there. It wasn't terrible. It was a beautiful racetrack, and the whole deal was good. Just a long way out there, right in the middle of the season, and we got some other races coming up. So I gotta be careful taking off so much work. As far as me, I don't know about you, but I gotta be careful because, like, the month of July for me the last half is gonna be effed up. I'm just gonna be honest. I'm probably not even gonna be home for 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I don't know. He said they melted the pistons on the 363.
Yeah, and I saw some smoke on that run. I mean, we did, but it's just hard to tell. You don't know if it's, forget a catch can or whatever. And maybe that was the case. Maybe they missed us. Maybe they found something they didn't mean to find. Because a lot of times when we go fast, that's what happens. Especially for me, a lot of times my fat finger hits a button wrong and supposed to put in 200 pounds of fuel. It puts in 20 pounds of fuel. All of a sudden, it goes out there and flies. And you melt it down, but you found something. So maybe that's what they had to do. They had to back it down.
Yep, for sure. Yep. We don't put 200 pounds in. We put a little jet in the hole.
Oh, my God. Because you're old school. Everything I do, look, everything we do right here is with a keyboard.
Yeah, we don't.
Yeah. So
that shit, screw blower don't like that shit.
So, and, those guys did a good job. I'm proud to see, some other combinations maybe doing good. It was good to see what you had: centrifugal, you had a turbo, you had a screw and a screw, right?
Yep, exactly.
So, okay,
which is good. I mean, their rules must be pretty close.
And Haney did pretty well as far as running good, but I just feel like Haney always steps on himself really bad. I just feel like he has a car and then stuff happens. Like,
he's kind of short. He can step on his shit real quick. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know. And there's a lot of good guys out there at race, and
he's got a good car. I think he does a lot of he does a lot of R&D. I think Keith is always looking for the, he went to the great big motor first before anybody, and Keith is always looking for an advantage.
Yep.
So you got to give him credit there. I mean, he ain't scared to try something.
Nope.
Even though I don't know if he works on, I think he walk around talking. I don't know. I don't see no dirt under his fingernails.
I don't know. He's got dealerships and anything to do with the car industry. I don't envy that man for sure. So
I'm sure of that. I just see him on Lear jets all the time, flying all over the country.
He's in Bahamas all the time, doing this, doing that. So
he always wants to know everybody know his name, but he's on vacation a lot.
So Midwest ran. Toronto had a race. I didn't really get to pay attention to it a lot. I'm sure Santos and them were up there for that. I know Jay had it on his live feed. Just wasn't that interesting more than the Midwest stuff. I mean, we got Martin coming up.
Yes.
131, and that's my favorite place to race.
Is it really?
Yep, I've won a bunch of races there.
That was a huge crowd up there last year. That was the biggest, I think, the biggest spectator count we had as far as PDRA goes. Any
Yep.
matter of fact, other than the World Series, I think it was the biggest spectator count.
And I like going up there because if you talk to a lot of people up there, they really enjoy us coming up there. And we've been coming up here for quite a long time now. Like, I mean, I think we made a stop one time, 2 times maybe. But since we've been going up there, they really enjoy seeing us. They like Pro Mods. They put on the little nostalgia funny car and the nostalgia dragster, which kind of helps our situation a little bit. It gives them something else to look at. The facility's always top notch. The track is always top notch. You can, if something happens, you can go out to eat. You can go to the casino. There's a lot of things to do up there, even though it's in the middle of nowhere.
It is out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, so
for sure.
We can't see the chat, so if you guys are talking to us,
what are you doing, Jess?
So
he said, "Where'd it go?" But yeah, it's a beautiful race. Look, I'm going to another one on July 18th and 19th up at Empire Dragway. I know you're not going to make it.
I was going to try to make it. I really was. I mean, we had talked about it. The problem, and here's my issue, and I want to come up there and I want to support. I want to. It's just fuel, man. Like the cost of fuel going up there, it's 10, 12, 13 hours for me. I got to take that much time off work.
Yep.
I got to go up there, run you guys. Then we got to come home. We got to get everything ready to go to. Yes. Then I got to go right back up there and to Michigan. What, 2 weeks later?
You got it now.
Yes, you got it now. Oh God,
Lord, you got it now.
All right,
but it's true. It like we're going up there. That was the week I was going on vacation, so I'm gonna be a day or two short on my vacation, and going up there with John and Gene and those guys putting on the Power Fest up there on the 18th and 19th up there. So, hey, the nitrous cars can weigh anything they want. No rules for them.
Yeah.
Just doing that, trying to get some cars, right? It doesn't, no rules.
From what I've seen, the racetrack looks great. I went up there when I was like 12 years old. So, I mean, I can't really, I'm sure they say the guys put a lot of money into it, and you've been up there before. You like it.
I've been there.
They draw a crowd. I know NC Pro Motor's been up there. He said they draw a crowd, and it's a great thing. So,
I'll be honest with you, when I went there for the first time, I was very surprised. They was doing a lot of work there. The first year we was there, the second year they was doing a lot more work, but the whole pit area is like a campground, and like you're looking out through there, there's fires going, they're roasting hot dogs, and
that's my kind of place.
I'm telling it. Look, they have campers sitting there year round in their pit spots all the way through that whole area. Like they leave them there the whole year, and it's an impressive place. I mean, and they do like their Pro Mods up there. They do like it, and the place gets full. It really does. And he has spent a lot of money in the pits and on the racetrack. And
I guarantee you they don't have red hot dogs, though.
No, that's north. They don't have red hot dogs up there. Just saying.
The Yankees don't know anything about no red hot dogs. Come down to Galot and we'll share some red hot dogs with you.
But sooner or later, you got to come up there because it is pretty good. Although it is a good 8-hour ride for me, I think.
So it's about 10 or 12 for me. That's what we figured. We figured at 10. I got motor back together now. I got Pro Chargers coming back. So I'm getting all my stuff. This is kind of like a mid-season freshen up, what I would call it.
You need a screw blower. We do that after every race.
Yeah, well, I'm not doing that.
So John and them are going to have their work cut out. I can tell you, after we run that race, they get fresh and everything up. And
see, this is what your friends get you.
I heard that.
Shake. It's okay.
I seen the video today. I got to ask you about it. I didn't see this video before. I seen this video of you finally, once you got Doc's car running at the last race, you run to the starting line. You're sprinting. You're breathing pretty heavy, by the way.
I'm fat.
He does a short burnout, which good.
Yeah,
because I was waiting, whatever. You're backing up, and it looks like you're doing the Texas two-step while you're backing up.
Do you see that? That's leg work right there. I'm an
You was doing
athlete.
some
Fletcher
leg work.
Cox ain't got nothing on me. I can do the side to side, buddy. Let me tell
I
you.
don't know what was you doing? Were you reaching in
I
there
was
holding your
trying
butt?
to get his winning net because we couldn't get
Oh,
his
okay.
winning net hooked up, and he had stuffed it down under his arm and was just going to run without it. When I'm thinking to myself, Jesus Christ, something happens, you'll protest him, and
I
they'll
ain't
throw
protesting.
him out for not having a winning net up there,
Dude,
or something would have happened and I would have felt bad. You know what I mean? Like if arm fly out or something. So I'm trying to get his winning net hooked. And when you're a driver and you're in there, you're thinking about a million things. And
right. You
so
was doing some really short steps.
I like that. I got
I got a
footwork.
big kick out. I was in the Bobcat today working, and I was waiting on some dirt, and I'm looking at that video, and I want
Now we
to.
know what you really do for a living.
I did have the air
TikTok.
conditioner on. I did.
Yeah.
But look, you got a Chad Wright shirt on too. Look at you.
CJW. You got to represent CJW, my man.
That's right. That's right. He got some specials going on this week.
I saw that. Yeah. He said you buy one Pro Mod, get the other one for half a double price.
Half the double price.
Yep. So
might even get an engine with it.
Yeah, no telling. There's a lot of stuff for sale. I did see that. There's a lot of stuff coming up. A lot of guys that are Smokey's Garage. Them guys are out. I hate to see them go, but I saw all their stuff for sale. There's a lot of things. A lot of people moving, changing combos. I saw Halsey had a new T-shirt out right before we came up here. I saw that, so that's cool. It's good to see things happening in the sport, even when we're not doing anything.
Right. I got to ask you this: you coming to Yellow Bullet?
You know what's funny? As I thought about it today, on the way, my wife was driving home, and I'm sitting there thinking, man. And I'm gonna tell you why I thought about it because I was sitting up here. I saw a bunch of doves on a power line, and that's a big dove hunt weekend for me. Like we go dove hunting.
Okay, all right.
Okay, so I like the dove hunt. And I'm thinking to myself, do I want to go to Yellow Bullet and bust Steve King's ass, or do I want to? So I think I'm gonna. I've never been. Jimmy's invited me several times, but it's a weird weekend for us. Kids are starting school back. It's just a whole thing. And the last couple of years I've had dove hunts, they've been crappy. So I think it's time for me to go give them a break.
All right. That'd be good to see one of you pro charge fuckers up there.
Oh yeah,
it's a long drawn out weekend. Don't get me wrong; it is a long drawn out weekend.
Well, Nick Lasarina, he runs up there. I like them guys. I can hang out with those. There's a lot of people I won't get to see until we go back down to Florida. That we race together. It'd be cool to come see it. But I would like to come up here and get a taste of that screw charger.
You guys look. I got to put some weight on up there too. So,
do you?
Well, I think Yellow Bullet. We got to add 25 or 50. I don't know what
You should have to weigh a lot.
I think you got to put a little on too. But if you keep eating them hot dogs, you might not have.
Well, hey, I might switch over to beef then.
That's right. But it's a big weekend. I like it. It's a good race. It's a long drawn out weekend, but it's a lot of people there. And Fletcher.
I've never been to it, and it's a race. It's on my bucket list, so I might as well make it part of it.
Monty does a big thing for the kids. Big giveaway for the kids, which is a great big draw, and he does a lot for the kids. Gene throws in a bunch of stuff and kind of keeps the kids involved.
Yeah,
right. And that's the name of the game in this sport. We got to have people coming in.
Yeah. So, I think I'll make it. This year.
All right.
Don't hold me to it, but
Bob will have time for a few naps in the middle.
So we were supposed to have Night of Fire at Galat this past weekend.
Yeah, what happened there? What happened?
It just was so hot, dude. I mean, you're talking about it was 110 heat index down here, and the problem what you guys don't understand is 110 heat index in North Carolina is like brutal because you're talking 140 grains of water. I mean, it feels like you stepped out of a bathtub when you walk outside. I mean, it's brutal. It was 106 in my shop, 108. I think it got to 111 one time in my shop. That's with fans. I mean, I got like 24 fans moving stuff. And I mean, it's just, I think had the weather been right, I think it would have been a great time of year because 4th of July, things would have been good. I think we had some cars coming. Being it was an outlaw race would have kind of limited the car count, but I think you would have seen 6 to 8 fast cars. I think John and them were going to try it. They were just going to leave the weight in there and try it. But it didn't happen. I don't know if it was Galot or if it was IHRA's decision, but either way, I think felt like it was the right move for them to make. They've got a race coming up. Let's see, Natural Trail. Let me see here. Hold on. That's US 31.
Is that the one that has the big payout?
No, that's Killcare. It's got the big
Killcare,
payout.
yes. That's the one I was thinking of.
So July 9th and 12th, IHRA Outlaw Nitro Series. So what we got here, Wednesday parking, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday parking, Wednesday Pro-Am. So all your sportsman guys qualifying. Thursday parking again. Thursday Pro-Am final qualifying. So you're going to get all your sportsman guys out of the way in the middle of the week, which I don't agree with because they're working guys, and who the hell is going to take a week off?
Yeah.
Go do that. But whatever.
Is there a TV? Do they got a TV deal or not? I haven't seen anything about it. So Snow said the weather's too damn hot to race anyways.
So here is the we got Top Fuel, we got Funny Car, Alcohol Dragster, Alcohol Funny Car, Pro Mod, Pro Nitrous Pro Mod, Mountain Pro to Pro Stock, which Top Dragster, Top Fuel Harley, Top Sportsman, Hemi Shootout, Super Stock, Factory Stock, Quick Rod, Super Rod, and Hot Rod all combined together. I don't know if they're combined together, but they got there. And the big old class of snowmobile.
How are they going to run all these classes? I got to ask you this. You've ran a racetrack. How are they going to get all this done?
They're going to start on Monday. I mean, that's why they're starting on. Let's see. Wednesday starts Pro-Am time trial. So your Pro Amateur, so your Quick Rod, Super Rod, Stock, Super Stock, Super Rod, Top Sportsman, Top Dragster all start qualifying on Wednesday. And then they're going to continue on Thursday, and then they start eliminations below. Then they have a racer dinner at 7. Now I'm just reading off the website here, so I don't know. And then all your pros will start on Friday and Saturday. So Friday qualifying, Saturday race.
I've seen a couple guys jumping into the Pro Mod deal. I think Sullivan's going, and
I mean it's paying $50,000 a 32 car field.
Yep. Are they using PDRA rules, or what are they doing there?
That's what I've heard. I haven't seen that yet.
I think that's the $1 million question.
They're paying $20,000 in Pro Nitrous, 15,000 in Pro Stock and 15,000 in Mountain Motor Pro Stock. So you mean to tell me you're going to try to get 500-inch Pro Stock guys and Mountain Motor Pro Stock guys, and you're both going to pay them $15,000? Somebody's going to lose their ass on this race. I'm just going to tell you that. I mean, straight up.
I don't see the 500-inch guys coming for one.
No, but they're so NHRA. They're so up NHRA's butt, they wouldn't know what to do if they did. My dad said it is PDRA rules, which is good. Hey, I mean, $50,000. If the guy wants to pay it, I'll try to support him.
Sure. I'm glad they're doing it. I mean, I really am, but there's only so many cars in the country and there's only so many weeks.
Yeah, they have who knows if they have a curfew, Charles? I don't know, buddy. I mean, that's the age-old question that we've had about this whole organization, and even some internally in the organization that I've talked to is it seems like we get great ideas and great forethought, but the execution level of it, like what we got to do to execute this, is ridiculous. I mean, first of all, you got all these classes. You're going to start all your sportsman guys on a weekday. Now, these guys are blue collar, working class guys. They're mechanics. They own grading companies. They own lawn care companies. They work at paper mills. They work at dealerships. So they got to take a week of vacation to come out and do this race. And not only that, if the guy loses on Wednesday or Thursday, he's blew his whole week anyway.
Yep.
So
he's got to go home.
I don't know what these guys are thinking. And I really want this to work. I really want there to be a secondary place to race so that when we have a break like this, we do have somewhere to race. There's an option for guys to go to race. The guys, sometimes PDRA doesn't fit for these guys. Yep. Some guys just do not. Craig Sullivan is not a big PDRA guy. It just doesn't fit in his schedule. It doesn't fit on his locations. so this gives people a place to race, and I just don't see it, man.
I mean, I seen Scott Palmer. Some of the fuel guys are going over there, and I guess they don't want to travel the NHRA. I call it a circus, but
Yeah,
you're right, because it's crossed from one side of the country to the other.
yeah.
Comparable. So I
How
guess
many alcohol funny cars guys are left that don't run NHRA that would jump from? And I'm talking about alcohol because I don't know that much about the alcohol dragster and alcohol funny car guys, just from what I watch on TV.
yep.
So what's going to get them to move over into IHRA? Money can't always be the deciding factor. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. You know what I mean? So I'm a super rod guy. Okay. I've run super rod my whole life. I've got a roadster. I'm going to run super rod. I'm tired of running NHRA. I can't always go to all the NHRA races. There's one in my backyard. Okay. So now I've got to take a week off of work and I've got to come run this race on Wednesday when nobody's going to be there. There's not going to be a crowd there. They're not coming to watch Super Rod. Okay. So that was part of the lust and the luxury of IHRA in its heyday. I can go back that far because a super rod guy, a quick rod guy can run amongst the crowd that's there to watch the guys that were running back then. They were watching Nance. They were watching Tastiasti Spumante. And I'm going way back, but I'm just saying
going way back.
But there was guys there to watch it. There was, there John Montecalvo and them guys running pro stock in the quarter mile. I think can they sustain, number one, the financial burden that they're going to have to raise. I don't care how much money the guy's got. He's not stupid, so he's not just going to keep shoveling it out. And can they sustain when they try to have a race and it's not a success? Can they keep going with it?
Well, that's the big thing. The payouts. Bob says there's a couple $100,000 in payouts. I mean, are they going to have full fields? I don't know. I can't. I'd be surprised if they do, being it's just getting started out. Right. That's my take on it. Is there going to be a big spectator turnout? Is there going to be sponsors jumping on board? I mean, this thing's just getting ground floor started.
So yeah, I just wish somebody over there would call timeout. Let's call a hard timeout. Let's say, okay, guys, we screwed up when we announced we were buying all these tracks, and we really hadn't, which they did end up buying most of them, but except for some of them. We've hired 4 or 5 people to come in and be a part of this organization, and we fired them before we ever even went to the first race. Okay. We've got purses, classes, and everything. We have no dates. They already did that. We've got dates with no rules. And now we've got, now we've got all this stuff that's happening. We just need to say, okay, time out, guys. We made a mistake. We put the cart before the horse. We're going to step back. We're going to look at what we're going to do, and we're going to come out strong in 26. We're going to give you a hard schedule. Strong in 26. We're going to reevaluate our classes. We're going to reevaluate our dates, and we're going to say this is what we're going to do. Because what's going to happen? They're going to have these races, and they're going to be low car counts. They're going to be low spectator counts, and it's going to put a bad taste in everybody's mouth on the ownership side. And I might as well, if I had one.
William, he's got a whole shop full. I seen a picture of his shop.
None
he
of them mine.
everywhere.
On the ownership side, they're going to get a bad taste in their mouth. On the racer side, we're going to get a bad taste in our mouth. And then guess what? We got another failed organization before we even got started.
I agree. I think they should look at next year, because now's the time to plan for next year.
Right.
Because all the dates are full for this year, and they're trying to squeeze some stuff in to try to get started. And hopefully it doesn't put that bad taste in people's mouths, because I'd be surprised if they have full car counts. I really would.
And I can't speak for Nitro guys, because I don't know how many smaller Nitro teams that are. I'm sure there's a lot of smaller Nitro teams that would love to come out there and run and not have to run with the Colettas and the Capcos and Forces and all this.
I mean, all those guys,
right. And I'm sure there's plenty of pro stock teams that that are some older pro stock cars that would like to come out and run 500 and stuff. I just don't see how you can have a 500-inch class and a mountain motor pro stock class.
Yeah, I don't know if that's smart business.
No, it's not. And I just hope that maybe these guys can see the light before it ever becomes a problem. They got the next big race is this big money race. Let's see if I can find that. Let's see. That is August 8th and 9th at Killcare Raceway.
Yep. And that's paying out. I've been hearing a lot of buzz about that.
Yes. So this I like. Okay. I like the payout. I like the payback. I like the way they got Mountain Motor Pro Stock and they got Top Sportsman. So you got some class fillers in there. So this right here, I'm okay with because they're paying. And this is a good place to have maybe some nitro guys come in and do exhibition runs or whatever you need to do. I've never been to Killcare. Have you?
No, sir. I've never been there.
So that's the next problem. Are we going into a racetrack that can hold the kind of power that we're looking at? Are we going into a place that can't do it? You can't go fast there.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting what happens here in the next 2 deals that they're doing here, and I think the pro mod class for the money race is going to be because I've heard a lot of buzz about that race.
Yes, me too. Yeah.
So I think that the pro mod class will be fine there because of the payout, and everyone's going to jump in there and try to snatch up that money. But can it sustain the rest of the classes? I'm not sure. I'm not. That's the $1 million question, I think.
I mean, like you say, I think I love rod racing. That's where I got started at. I like super stock. That's where my dad was. So I know all those guys. I just don't see them uprooting themselves out of NHRA and going over there and starting a new deal. I'd like to see them change the index. I think the indexes are from 1950, so it's time to up those. I think everybody needs to be up a second. I think every single index class needs to go a second faster.
Well, technology, the power, the horsepower is there.
Yeah.
I mean, the technology's there. There's no doubt.
You don't have a dragster. A dragster can't run 450s now. I mean,
yeah, it's pretty easy, really. The power. I mean, yeah, it costs money. Don't get me wrong, but
it's not as much as it did years ago.
No, it's just way more expensive and inexpensive as far as, I mean, it is expensive, but it's inexpensive in comparison to what you can do.
Yep. I just, I hope for the best. Maybe one of them, somebody will send them this link and they'll listen to us. I mean, not that we speak for everybody, but I think we speak for a lot of majority. We've got our own opinions, and opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one, and some of them stink.
That's why it says boost and bullshit. They got to listen one way or another.
Yep. So
it is, I hope it works out. I really do, because more places to race is good, but at the same token, we don't want to water down the waters.
Right. Because now we've got IHRA paying big money, and then now we're going straight into the winter series, right. So that's a whole different ballgame. I see it becoming a problem.
I mean, as far as us, like me as a team and Gene Pilot, I mean, we could go here, we can go there, we can race every weekend, but you got to maintenance the car, the rig, you got to take off work, and there's a lot to it. So you got to commit to that's what we've done. We committed to one series, and we throw a couple outlaw races in there. And if we don't do that, I just got to shut my business down and just race full time.
Right. And that's I think a lot of people are going to be at that point. What you got to understand is you're going to have to get the Tommy Grays, you're going to have to get the Ryan Haywards, you're going to have to get the Robin Roberts, you're going to have to get the guys that are kind of on the fence on a lot of races that can go. I mean, I think me and you are kind of spoiled because I'm spoiled because of where I live, because I can go anywhere and run for $10,000 most months, and you are because you've got a team and you got a good sponsor and you got guys that help you pay for things and get you going, but you still have to take away from work. Same thing I do. So there's a lot of sacrifice on both sides.
It is.
I don't think other guys have that option.
A lot of guys don't. I mean, I'm very fortunate. I know that. I'm very fortunate by far, but it takes a lot. People don't understand how much you, me, whoever, all these guys that race at this level, we have to leave home. We got to do a lot. So I don't think a lot of people understand that.
No, yep. I'm fortunate enough my kids are small. Well, not small, but they're younger, and I can take them with me in the summer times and things get off. And uh, pulling them out of school is not easy anymore. So it's starting to wear on me a little bit as far as that kind of thing because I don't like going without them, and it's not fair to them either.
Right.
Uh,
I mean,
my
mine
fa-
grew up at the racetrack,
my and so did
literally.
I, and so did mine. My dad drugged me all over the country. So
Right.
uh,
Different. Mine was running through Orlando Street Nationals stands, running through there. It's just it was a way of life, right? And then you get to the point business grows and it's a
yep,
lot of commitment. It is.
yep, it definitely is. But
It's a lifestyle.
I hope the best for the IHRA. I just wish that maybe we could if they would just call around and talk to other people other than us. Call some other guys in the series and ask them. Call some people, Ricky Smith. Call Todd Petterow. Call anybody. Call Jim Halsley. Call these guys and talk to them about what they think they're doing and what if it's right or wrong or what they would change. And I know it's opinions and things like that, but I think they'll see that maybe they've kind of made some mistakes and they need to reel back a little bit. I mean, it's going to be tough. It's going to be interesting to see.
Yeah,
I
it's
think.
going to be tough. Tough to pay that payout. I know they're looking for big things, but it ain't always the payout. It's not
No,
always the payout. I
no.
mean, I
I'd
mean,
rather have 150 cars for 25,000 than I would 4 cars for 50,000.
right. That's what I'm saying. It's not even our class. I mean, I know
There's no way we're doing it for the money.
you cannot do
No,
it for the money. I tell people that my local people here, I'm telling you right now, I tell them all the time, like, oh, you just won the 150,000. You don't understand. It's not about the money. Don't get me wrong. That's a lot of money. It really is.
yeah,
But at
but
the end of the day, are we really spending whatever we're spending $1 million,
I won.
150?
I won the most amount of money I've ever won in my life last year, just through PDRA, through the Midwest, through just stuff that I've won, and I still was probably $40,000-$50,000 in the hole. And I
Right.
race as cheap as anybody does. I mean, I race, and you can ask anybody. I mean, we use the same spark plugs.
Oh, I seen that.
Yeah,
You I got enough spark plugs out here on this pallet out here that you'd last you for 20 years.
you would. I mean, it's just because they're $16 a piece. I mean, we get a good read on it once we're there. Then well, I ain't using nothing else. Are you kidding me? You're lucky I don't siphon the oil and start straining it, and putting it back in there.
I believe that shit too.
if
Bob
it
be
was
out there with a little torch underneath of it trying to bubble it out.
if it wasn't for good sponsors in the last year or so, it'd been kind of tough. But we've got good guys like CJW behind us. I got good companies behind me. Uh, you want to win money. Sometimes a trophy means more to me than anything.
I think
So
that's in everything we've done. I keep saying I go in my local pub or local place to eat, whatever. And
pub. Are you in England or something?
no, man, pub.
It's called a honky tonk.
Honky tonk. Actually, I go to the brew house now because everything else
Oh my god!
go to brew house.
You'll be
But
wearing flat bills for so with. Look, you got one on now.
I got Jess's ET. I gotta give her credit. Look here. I got everything on.
Yep.
She does a lot for me, so I can't say nothing. But it really is. It's about the trophy and I keep saying it about the money. That's one reason why I sold when I sold my stuff out with Gene and those guys. But it's not about the money. These guys come in, they spend a lot of money. But if you want to run up front, you still have to
Yep.
spend a lot of money.
Yep.
They really do.
Yep.
And it's crazy. Somebody wants to go mud racing.
Oh, that's a local guy from me, Chet Sexton. He's one of my biggest fans. His dad was one of my biggest fans ever. I mean, he supported me, come by the shop. His dad passed away about a year or so ago, and he still supports me. I have to go over there and tune up his hot rod once in a while.
See, that's going to be. I see what's coming for you. I really
What?
do. You're
What?
going to sell your shop, or you're going to get out of it, and you're going to go just racing. That's what you're going to do. I seen the shop at the house. Bob sent me a picture of all these fucking race cars in the shop. I'm like, look at this cat. He's got nitrous cars. You got shit everywhere.
I got good customers and good friends. That's all I can say. I got good friends and I got good family, and they stand behind me. And what else can you say? I hope so one day. I hope one day, once John and retires and Evans wiring for NASA. That maybe you'll let me wire up on that thing.
You get up in there and get with it. You do got done. She does a lot of editing because we all seen them bloopers of Steve. Oh my God, you ain't lying. She does some serious editing because I screw up a soup sandwich. I promise you that.
Made me laugh to the point about peeing my pants.
I'm terrible, man. They tell me, they give me a script and it goes out the window pretty quick.
I told him, don't think about what you got to say. Just say it.
Look, this dude here, he's like Channel 9 newscaster. He goes right into everything. I can't do that. I just can't.
He's got to have a path, and you can't deviate the path, and you can't distract him at all. He's something else. But we get some good bloopers out of it, and that, hopefully
it does work. It does work, and she does good. If I get 5 beers in me and we're just setting around bench racing, I can talk shit with the best of them.
Yeah.
But when you got a script and I got to follow it, I'm up. I'm done.
So anything else we need to cover tonight? Let's see.
Some of those $16 spark plug. Travis is paying for them.
Yeah, well, you better. I hope so.
Travis, send some money.
Yeah. Yeah.
Send us a watch. Look, Mama said it's bedtime.
Did she say something?
No, I didn't hear her say
that. I thought somebody said something. I'm up here by myself. I'm looking around like, what?
You've been on vacation so much with them all around there close to you, hearing them still in your back of your mind, dude.
So, all right. So we've covered everything. I think we got PDRA, Michigan coming up.
Yep. I got one before that. We got to go to
Empire.
Go to Empire, 18th and 19th for the Power Jam.
How much is it paying?
That is paying $10,000, I believe. I got to look.
If it was paying 20, I might would make the trip.
Oh, here we go. I got to look here. I can't even. Where'd it go? I just had it up.
Put your glasses on. You know you can't see.
I can't see nothing, man. I'm blind, but you got to come up. I would say you bring a nitrous car. It's $10,000 to win.
I ain't bringing no nitrous car. You can forget that. David said it's $10,000.
It is 10. I got it up there. It's $10,000. So Empire, Power Fest, the Celebrities, Gene putting this race on. We got to go. I'm going.
So you'll go there. We'll go to Michigan. We'll be back together. We'll do another live at Michigan. We'll pick us up. We've got some guys on tap, maybe doing some live stuff for that.
Yep. I think we got one show in between.
Do we?
I think on the 16th. I think it is.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we do. Just
trying to look at.
Yep.
Yeah. She said
we got one show in between, so we'll talk some more trash on that. Maybe we'll have something to talk about.
Yep.
Some dirt. We
got a couple guests coming on the next one.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
We're gonna bring some people in, talk a little shit.
I gotta trim my mustache and can't see my lips anymore.
You've been gone so long, you didn't even have a razor with you. You probably didn't even take it with you.
Killed the cat.
So. But it's the off. What do we got? 5-6 weeks. What is this? 5-6 weeks off. So
I think we got 3 left. So check out both of our social media pages while we're off. We're going to be doing a lot of stuff. I'm going to have a lot of fan intervention stuff. We're going to ask you some questions. We're going to ask you about, there's a lot of things you don't know about a lot of us that we do outside of racing. So we're going to try to cover that. We're going to, Josh Hines says he'll see you at Empire.
You're going to be up there. Dude, I got you. Wait till you see this batch of shit I got to give out. See, this is what you need. I got some clappers. I'm going to put some stuff on your car. You'll see it.
Oh, great.
I got stuff for the kids. Gene has sent me, I got boxes of stuff to give out at this next 2 races.
Well, good.
He's all about that stuff. I'm telling you right now, it's shit just shows up there. I call him like, what is this? Just put it in the motorhome. Okay. It's crazy. Wait till you see these clappers, man. These
little thing.
Yeah, you wait till you see these clappers, man. It's going to be good for you.
Okay. All right.
I'm going to put 2 in your chutes.
So, episode 10's in the books, guys. Stay with us. Go to Boost and Bullshit on our Facebook page. We're going to have some merch coming up. Go to pilotracing.com. You can follow Dummy over there. You can go to Party Time Racing on Facebook. You can follow us. Yep. Whoa. Wait, we talked about Dragon. I forgot the last time.
I got a couple. Look, he's going to bring out Don't give me the whole. Don't tell me it's got dust on it.
It's still got plastic in it.
Oh, you're gonna frame that thing, ain't you?
Why do you look so weird right there? It's just
I don't know what they give me, but
you were jacked up.
I was jacked up. You went that way.
You and Butcher wanted to complain about me not being on the cover, and there we go.
What? There's no gray.
I wasn't old back then. You talking about 10 years ago.
Hey, Glenn really wanted to get you there. I didn't. I didn't
get me.
He didn't get you. Glenn said, "I don't know if he's been on there." I said, "Well, bring it on. We'll throw it out there." So, you got us.
And it's right there too.
I see it up there.
Yeah.
I gotta get one. Look, I ain't gonna lie, mine's still in the wrapper too.
I know. I'm gonna get you to sign mine.
Here we go. I'm gonna get Bob to sign mine.
He can't spell his own name. So
I do have some, Charlie. I got some in the trailers. So
okay, yeah, good. I'm sure he's got a box of them, Charlie. Don't you worry about it.
He sent me. I don't know how many copies, 200 copies or something. I've been giving out. I've been giving a bunch out.
If nobody could have won that thing, I'm glad you won it.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
That was big. I'm telling you, I'm not sure we wasn't about done. We was getting disgusted.
I've been there. I believe me.
It is what it is,
Mr. GQ Smooth.
I don't know if I'm smooth, but look at this face. It looks smooth. It ain't nothing smooth about it, but it is what it is.
It is red.
It's red right now. I've been out in the sun all day. So you work inside the shop in the.
I got the racetrack tan.
You've been at the beach. You should be red.
Taking my shirt off. All the women will chase me, and then I
look like a white ghost running up the beach.
All right, guys. Well, that does it for Boosting Bullshit. One last time, I want to thank everybody, CJW Enterprises, for coming on as usual. Chad Wright, follow him for all your pro mod race car needs. He's got it. If he don't got it, he can get it. If he don't get it, he can find somebody who has it. So go see him. Again, ET Edits. Want to thank everybody for joining us again. We won't bore you next time. We'll see you on the 16th. Boosting Bullshit, episode 11.
We out.